Good news, guys. New Zealand has announced a seasonal worker program for 2023. They need 19,000 workers from overseas, and there are 192 companies willing to sponsor people from overseas to go and work in New Zealand. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the step-by-step process of becoming a seasonal farm worker in New Zealand. If this sounds like something that you're interested in, do stay tuned to the very end. Guys, this is an interesting job opportunity because it does not need you to have any IELTS. It does not need you to have any formal qualifications. And the processing time for the visa is only 2 weeks. All you need to do is to get a job offer. Then in less than 3 weeks, you can be moving to New Zealand. If you're new to my channel, my name is pauline.popo.moyo, and this is the channel where we keep things real. And without wasting any of your time, let's get into it. I'm a savage. So the New Zealand Seasonal Worker Program is a program whereby you go to New Zealand and you work in the farms. There are certain roles that you can undertake in the farms, and these are the following examples. So you'd expect to do farm jobs like fruit picking and maintaining crops, planting and harvesting, including picking of fruits as well. So guys, this is not as easy as it sounds. This is a challenging job because at times you might spend the whole day bent down picking fruits, or the whole day looking up picking fruits, which is not an easy thing to do. You have to be prepared for hardships which come with this job. Now I'm going to talk of the eligibility criteria. What is it that is required from you to be able to become a fruit picker in New Zealand? First and foremost, you need to be 18 years. So from 18 years and above, you can apply for this job. The number one thing before you apply for a visa, you will need to secure a job in New Zealand. And the New Zealand government has made it very easy for us guys because they've got a site dedicated to seasonal farm workers. So in this site, you will find about 192 companies which are hiring from overseas, and they're offering visa sponsorship for international workers. So what you have to do is to go through company by company, check which roles are available, find out from them if they're offering visa sponsorship, and apply. If you've got experience in that field, it's an added advantage, or if you have qualifications in that field, it's an added advantage. Doesn't necessarily mean that they need you to be highly qualified for this job. Even if you don't have any qualifications, but you are able to prove that you are able to do fruit picking, you are capable of doing the job, they can hire you. The most interesting bit about these jobs is that you don't need to have an IELTS English test for you to be able to relocate and go and work as a seasonal farm worker in New Zealand. We all know that IELTS is daunting and it's really difficult, and a lot of people find it very challenging. And if you are able to relocate without writing IELTS, this is a wonderful opportunity for you. So once you secure a job with any company, the processing time is very quick. It can take up to just 9 days. The pay rate for seasonal farm worker jobs is between $21 to 22 New Zealand dollars, and the minimum has to be at least $21.10. So if you're applying for these jobs, you make sure that the minimum pay that they give you is $21.10, which is a substantial amount of money, guys. And if you are going to go and work in New Zealand, it is mandatory that they give you at least 39 hours per week of work. So which means when you go and work there, you are guaranteed that you're going to get at least 39 hours of work, as well as £21.10 minimum an hour. So the basic requirements for this visa are that number one, you have to be in good health. Like I've already said, this job is very challenging, which means if you're going to work in the farms, you need to be in good health. You need to be healthy, because if you're not healthy, you cannot spend up to 12 hours standing if it requires you to stand for 12 hours, or you cannot spend up to 12 hours bending if it requires you to bend for 12 hours, or you cannot spend 12 hours picking fruits from one area to the next if you're not in good condition. So it is important that you are in good health before you apply for this job. Secondly, you must be of good character, which means you have to provide a certificate of good standing from your country. You can provide, for example, police clearance, which is going to indicate that you have no criminal records in your country and you are a person with good standing in your society. So it's important that you don't have any criminal record for you to be able to apply for this job. Number 3, you need to have a job offer. Like I've already said, before you apply for this visa, there are 192 accredited employers where you need to go and search for jobs and you apply. The good thing is I'm going to leave the link in the description box so that you go and check. If you meet the eligibility criteria, you go ahead and apply. Last but not least, you need to be able to leave the New Zealand before your visa expires. So obviously this visa has got some limitations. Limitation number 1 is that sometimes you might not be able to extend this visa. There is an option of you extending this visa if there are more seasonal farm worker jobs that you need to undertake. But if there's nothing like that, you have to leave before your visa expires. Secondly, you cannot switch from this visa. Once you're in New Zealand, you cannot switch from a seasonal farm worker visa to any other visa. So this visa is restrictive. Thirdly, you cannot move with your family under this visa route. So it's just that visa route where you want to go and work and make a substantial amount of money before you return to your country. And then you can use that money to relocate to any other country of your choice. So it's a situation whereby you go to New Zealand, maybe you want to make a substantial amount of money, because obviously if you're earning 21.10 New Zealand dollars an hour, that is a substantial amount of money. And if you work for a good period of time, you can save a lot of money and you have a lump sum of money when you go back to your country. So the application process for this visa is simple and straightforward. All you need is, after getting a job offer from your employer, which means you have to apply for a job, make sure that you have a perfect CV which is going to detail your experience if you have any experience, and you also attach your certificates as well if you have any certification in that field. And then you provide your certificate of good standing, then you pay for the visa fee as well, and once that is done, they give you a visa and then you relocate to New Zealand. So guys, this is all that I wanted to share with you, and believe you me, there are people who have managed to secure jobs as seasonal farm workers in New Zealand. If you do watch some of these videos on YouTube, I did watch a video about someone who came from Nigeria who was able to secure a seasonal farm worker job in New Zealand. So do not take this lightly. If this is something that you're interested in, go ahead and apply. I'm going to leave the list of companies in the description box so that you check them out. You just go to the website, go through the companies, just like the same way we do when we're looking for healthcare assistant jobs with visa sponsorship. You just go through company by company by company and apply. Even if it means applying to all the 192 companies, these are companies which have been approved by the government of New Zealand to hire people from overseas. You know that there are people who have cast in 300 applications. So this is just 192 companies, and you can cast in 192 applications if this is something that you really want. So guys, this is all that I wanted to share with you, and if you found this video to be helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with other people who are interested in working as seasonal farm workers. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I will see you in my next video. Bye.